So here I have the rear shocks in, and this is the first one that we're going to do because this is the little bit difficult one, and I'll get to it why. But the first thing you need to do is make sure you release this screw right here, which is going to release off all the nitrogen in the shock. The second thing you need to be worried about is getting to this piece. This is the actual live valve which works, and this is the one that we need to delete. So the only difference with this one and the one that you might have is the one that you might have a cover over here, which is the electric thing that controls the live valve. All you need to do is make sure that you loosen up this thing, and that fitting would come out easily. That's the only thing that's holding that fitting in here. And that's about it. All right, the first thing that we need to do is get the nitrogen out of the just make sure don't screw all the way out right away. Just take its time. You're gonna hear the hissing sound once you know that it's out. Then just take out the entire screw. And be very careful of these fittings. Your fitting might be perfect. Mine had a little bit rust on it, which is okay, but sometimes they do tend to slip, and once if you slipped it out, it's done. So I think we got everything out. Over. Done. So now that that screw is out of our way, we can go ahead and fit in our nitrogen fitting, which is once again really easy. It goes in right here. So now to this bad boy. The grip that I showed you guys earlier, this is the grip that's going to go on it. Now you can see there are two different fitting styles on it. For the rear shock, this is what you're going to use. So it's going to go either like this, and it's going to get the job done. Now the issue that I've seen with this one is that you can see here that you don't have that much space to work with, right? Once this on. So for example, let's take the 12-inch wrench. So you can see here that once this is sitting, I don't have that much space to go in. And let's suppose say even if I go in, I literally have to put my hand there just to make sure that I'm not damaging anything. So yeah, as you can see, in other words, there's not that much gap in here. And as soon as it focuses, I can show you what I mean. But yeah, as you can see here, if I make this sit, it's not gonna go. I can go like this too, or I can do it like this, but I think the best way or the leverage that you can get is by doing it this way. And hey, RPG Offroad can correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm totally open to feedback. So this is how your shock should be once you have made sure that this thing is loose. Because what's going to happen is, or at least I've noticed is, if you're going to have it flat, because this is at an angle, once it's flat, let me show you what I mean actually. So let's suppose if I remove this, this is the angle. So with that angle, you'll have all the oil pretty much on this side right here. And I was able to spill out a little bit yesterday. And I don't want to get into that thing again. So the best way is if you can put it right here, this way. So that means this thing is straightened out, and that way you're not losing any oil. All right, I thought it's better if I zoomed in on this and do it while I have one hand on the phone and the other hand on this. And as you can see, Start to see a little bit oil here. Let's do this. This is how it is right now. It's just sitting with the pressure, so when you're taking it out, make sure that you don't drop that much oil. So actually I already taken this thing out and I put it back in just to show you the mistake I did, even though I've done this yesterday and I didn't do it without any spill. So yeah, this happens, but it's not that much oil that I need to be worried about. That's given. This is how the valves look like, and this is some kind of a washer that needs to go on top of it. So I'll show you how this correlates to installing the live valve delete kit here. All right, so now that the live valve is out of the shock, let me zoom it in on here. Focus. All right, there you go. What we actually really need out of this live valve is this rubber fitting over here. And what that needs to do is this needs to go on this live valve socket right here. So you can pretty much put it in this perspective. It's exactly like this. This is eliminating any oil from coming out. This is where that rubber would be, and this is your top portion right here. I still don't know what this thing is called, but let's just suppose that you have something pointy that you can take this rubber piece out. And for me, it's that easy with this thing. Just tuck it in, bring it out, and you're done. All right, so let's do this again. And let's take it out. There you go. This is what you need to reuse. So the most easiest way to figure out how this thing is going to go into the shock is you can put it against this, and you know that this part needs to be on the top and that part needs to go down. Once again, guys, this is really simple stuff. If you've done other work on your truck, this is nothing. Like, it is so self-explanatory. Once you're at it, once you're doing this, it's gonna make sense. It's super easy. So this is how it is, and I'm gonna show you in the next clip how it looks like once it's inside the shock. All right, now that you have moved the rubber fitting into your live valve delete kit, it's very easy and self-explanatory that this piece right here, would actually go in right there. So in other words, it's gonna go something like this. You need to make sure it's pressed in all the way. This fitting is gonna go on top, super easy, and that's it. All you need to do is screw this back in and your work is done pretty much. So one thing you need to be sure of, once you pretty much installed it all the way in, you'll see that it's going to keep on moving. And that is because now you have this live valve shock and you have this bushing that is keep on going to screw it in. So the best practice is you can either put your hand, make sure that thing is not moving, and just tighten up this screw right here, and you'll know it when it's tight enough that it's not going to move anywhere. And just to be 100% sure, you can put this back in. Where did this go? You can put this back in and you can tighten up one more time, and you know you've got it right. Alright guys, so I've tightened this up. I know it's not going anywhere. This is what you're gonna be left with, which there is no pretty much use of this, at least that I see of. So yeah, just keep it. This is a trophy.